Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to welcome you to the 48th meeting of Visit Tri-Cities. 48 years. That's remarkable. We'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you would all rise and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge and thank our honored guests and elected officials for joining us today. And I'm going to ask that when I call their name, they stand. And the audience, if you'll please hold your applause until I get through the list. Representing Senator Maria Cantwell, Mr. Rick Evans. Representing Senator Patty Murray, Raquel Farrell Crowley. Representing Congressman Newhouse, Mr. Josh Lozano. Representative Larry Haler. Commissioner Jim Beaver. Commissioner Jerome Delvin. Commissioner Bob Cook. Judge Bruce Spanner. Clerk Josie Delvin. Mayor Steve Young. Mayor Pro Tem Don Britton. Council Member Matt Binke. From the City of Pasco, Mayor Matt Watkins. Mayor Pro Tem Rebecca Francic. Councilman Chai Flores. Councilmember Saul Martinez. City of Richland, Mayor Robert Thompson. Mayor Pro Tem Cherry Christensen. Councilmember Sandra Kent. Councilmember Phil Lemley. From the City of West Richland, Mayor Brent Gary. And Mayor Pro Tem Rich Buell. Benton City Mayor Linda Lehman. Port of Benton, Commissioner Roy Keck. Port of Kennewick, Commissioner Tom Moak. Commissioner Skip Novakovich. Commissioner Don Barnes. And from the Port of Pasco, Jim Kleinworth. Would you give our elected officials and honored guests a hand, please? And I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, would you stand up and be acknowledged? All right. Thanks so much. If anyone that's ever done this knows it's a moving target. So, at this time, I would like to recognize the people and faces that lead Visit Tri-Cities, and by introducing the 2017 Board of Directors. Board members, please stand when I call your name and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until all the board members are standing. I'll begin with the Executive Board. In addition to myself as chairman, we have Kathy Moore, first vice chair, Suzanne Heaston, past chair, Dawn Hart, vice chair, Stacy West, vice chair, Rob Roxburgh, vice chair, Ron Huey, treasurer, Ken Miller, legal counsel, and Monty Nail, CPA. And now for the full board. Carl Adrian, Ron Anderson, Commissioner Don Barnes, Jerry Beach, Commissioner Jim Beaver, Troy Berglund, Karen Blaisdell, Mark Blotz, Debbie Bone Harris, John Bookwalter, Gloria Boyce, Christine Brown, Mayor Pro Tem Rich Buell, Kyle Cox, Councilman Chai Flores, Colleen French, Tom French, Shay Frechette, Representative Larry Haler, Monica Hammerberg, Scott Keller, Councilman Phil Lemley, Laurie Matson, Kathy Miller, Monica Muyang, Ray Moss, Vijay Patel, Corey Pearson, Maynard Plahuta, Justin Raffa, Rosanna Sharp, Buck Taft, Nikki Torres, and last but not least, Mayor Steve Young. Would you join me in a round of applause for our board of directors? Thank you very much. And now it's time to recognize some outgoing board members who have completed their terms. Please come forward to receive a plaque of your service. Monica Muyang. Monica has served on the board for 2 years, and she is out of town on business and can't be with us today. We'll make sure that she gets her plaque, and her service has been greatly appreciated. Dawn Hart. Dawn has served as the Tri-City Sports Council liaison to the board for the last 11 years. Dawn has also served on the board in various other capacities, and we greatly appreciate his service. And John Bookwalter. John has served on the board many times over the years, including past chair. His most recent term being 2015 to 2017. John, thank you for your support of the Tri-Cities. Please join me in welcoming her. And now I'd like to introduce Kathy Moore. Kathy Moore is the first vice chair and chaired the nominating committee. Kathy, would you join me?
Thank you, Steve. You were supposed to see the video by now, so I'm supposed to say, you saw in the video that I am a face of tourism, but you haven't seen that yet, so I am a face of tourism. I started working in the Tri-Cities in tourism in 1988. I worked at the Pasco Airport. I was a Horizon Air general agent, and now I'm the general manager at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, right here attached to the convention center. It was an honor to chair a nomination committee this year, and I'd like to recognize and thank committee members for their hard work and dedication. Our committee is Suzanne Heaston, Scott Keller, a Richland Council member Philip Lemley, Vijay Patel, and Kennewick Mayor Steve Young. On behalf of the Board of Directors and members, thank you for your service and dedication to our organization. According to the bylaws, each year, subject to approval for the Board of Directors, a minimum of 5 members in good standing are nominating to serve on the board. It is a duty of the nomination committee to secure nominees for elective 3-year directorship. The 5 nominees presented by the committee for 3-year terms are Deborah Bernard from Barnard Griffin, Gloria Boyce from Ben Franklin Transit, Brian Lubansky from KVUE TV, Brent Miles from Tri-City Dust Devils, and Steve Simmons, CG Public House and Catering. So Steve, I turn this meeting back to you for a vote on membership.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
And thanks for straightening me out, too. So may I please have a motion to elect these new board members? So.
Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the slate of candidates as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Huey. And is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Hart, thank you for a second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. It's unanimous. Congratulations to our new board members. And great work, Kathy. Thank you. Okay, seems like a good time to insert the video right here. So.
Hello, I'm Kris Watkins and I'm with Visit Tri-Cities. I have been with Visit Tri-Cities for close to 24 years. In fact, I have been involved in the travel and tourism industry throughout my entire career. Tourism matters in the Tri-Cities. Visitors will spend over $444 million in 2017, which will generate over $47 million in local and state tax receipts and employs close to 6,000 Tri-Citians. This annual meeting is all about the faces of tourism right here in our community. Let's meet some of the unique, dynamic, and hardworking people that make up our local tourism industry.
I would say I've been in the industry since about 2009. That's when we first opened the doors of the B Reactor National Historic Landmark to the public. I always say I'm just a girl who fell in love with a reactor. You know, at the time I started working on this issue, B Reactor was going to be torn down. And I was really impressed by the community's insistence and passion for preserving that place. I've had the honor of being at the reactor when schools full of, third and fourth graders come through. In addition, we have folks come through whose family members worked on the Manhattan Project and were never able to tell their families what they did because it was top secret. And to see them now be able to come through and understand fully the impact of the Manhattan Project on history and the world is just really a thrill. I'm a face of tourism because I'm passionate about what I do. I believe in the story we're telling at the National Historical Park, and it's an honor to bring more and more people here from around the world every year.
This is my fourth airport, and I think the main thing that drove me here was the terminal expansion and being a part of that. My wife and I fell in love with the community. We really enjoy it here. We enjoy the sunshine and the river. I think the airport is the first and last impression that an individual gets of their community, so being part of that's really special. When people come to visit the Tri-Cities, they see the great facility we have, and I think this is a great impression of what the Tri-Cities has to offer. We're continuing to grow, and as the community supports their airport, we'll continue to support the community by growing and giving them more options.
I really wanted to move us closer to my family, and he really wanted to move us closer to his, and we just couldn't decide. We decided that we leave it up to fate, and so we said, here's a coin, we'll flip it. If the coin lands on heads, we're meant to be in Tri-Cities, Washington. Well, guess what happened? The coin landed on heads, and so fate brought us here. As we thought about being here, we really wanted to do something that would give us goosebumps. We wanted to create a business that we could wake up and work in every single day, and a business that would bring us closer to folks in our own community. We had no idea that the Washington wine industry would be as much fun as it has been. This is still a really cool developing area, and it still feels very much like a community, and it's great to have a small business here. I'm a face of tourism because I love being in this area so much, and I love interacting with people and connecting with folks who get to visit our area. I love sharing our story, and I love sharing the stories of my neighbors and the stories of our community.
We bought the shop off of Craigslist. We've had it for 8 years now, and we love it. It doesn't feel like going to work every day. You just come in and help people have fun, and to me that's a great feeling. We love the weather here. We love that you can ride bikes 12 months out of the year. We love the beauty of the desert. The cost of living is really low. I probably shouldn't be saying that because as soon as we tell everybody how awesome it is, then everyone wants to move here. But it's a great place to raise a family. We are a face of tourism. We get to help people every day go out and have fun. We help people get on the river, on a paddleboard or in a kayak. The bike trail is just down the way from us. We help people get out on bikes. We love helping people lead a healthy, active lifestyle.
I started the travel industry right out of college. My first job was at Horizon Airlines in Pasco. I was a ramp agent, loading bags at the ticket counter in the gate. Honestly, it was a great job. It was my first introduction to the travel industry. I eventually moved on and started in the hotel industry, and then now here at Spring Hill Suites. I love the tourism industry. It is so much fun. My favorite thing about it is the employees. Every day we experience new things, there's new challenges, new people. And second of all, I love the guests. The day we opened Spring Hill Suites was so exciting. We were running around trying to get the hotel ready, and the day we opened, and when the first guest walked in, it was just like all that hard work we did. It was so rewarding, and it's been like that ever since. I am a face of tourism because I've been serving this community for 25 years.
I've been in the travel and tourism industry since the mid-'80s. Eventually, after several years of living down in Arizona, we moved up to the Seattle area, worked on the west side for several years, and then moved here in 1997 to run Columbia Point Golf Course, and I've been here ever since. What's not to love? I mean, look at the beautiful sunshine today in October. There's a variety of people that show up every day, come and sit in my office, talk to me about their lives and what's going on. I mean, it's just always a variety of things to do every day. I'm the first person they see when they walk in the shop most of the time, and I go out of my way to get to know people because it's real important for us is to know our customers.
I've been in the travel and tour industry about 21 years now. We started out as just a little produce stand, and it just grew and grew, and we added more product until finally it is what it is today. It is like family with our customers and our employees. That's how we grow, is good ideas from the customers. We have become a face of tourism because we represent what's good about the Tri-Cities, and that is the agriculture, the products, the people, and people come here and have continued to come here because of what's good about the Tri-Cities.
I'm Shay Frechette, and I'm a face of tourism.
My name is Buck Taft, and I'm a face of tourism.
I'm Colleen French, and I'm a face of tourism.
I'm Darren Warnick, and I'm a face of tourism.
I'm Kathy Moore, and I'm a face of tourism.
I'm Jay Wood, and I'm a face of tourism.
I'm Joe Krieger, and I'm a face of tourism.
I'm Kris Watkins, and I'm a face of tourism.
So that was a great video that we almost forgot about. So the way this is supposed to work is I was supposed to tell you about how I got into the hospitality tourism business, how I started as a busboy and worked my way up. Actually, my first job was owner, and I've been working my way back ever since. Actually, if you ask Shirley, she would tell you there's no evidence that I work at all. So. Anyway, I'm Steve Simmons, and I'm the face of tourism. So thank you all very much for being patient with me. It's now my pleasure to introduce Kris Watkins, President and CEO. So.
I'm going to give Steve a pass on that. He just got back from Hawaii, and he actually was not planning to come back until today. And oh, oops, he had to come back a day early. So you're forgiven just because you're here, and I really owe his wife, Shirley. I owe her big time, but Steve, thank you. I appreciate it very much. And our thanks to Tom Moore. That was a great video. I thought you did just a fabulous job in our face of tourism. And my name is Kris Watkins. I've been the CEO of Visit Tri-Cities for almost 24 years in January, and I am one of the many faces of tourism. And my first foray into tourism was in the 80s. I was the project manager of Canyon Lakes, a real estate development and a golf course, way back when it first got started. And I was able to witness firsthand the power of tourism. I saw where those funds were coming in, with people coming in to play golf at Canyon Lakes. And the bottom line of many tourism-related businesses really benefit as a result of the tourism industry. I saw the importance. I got my first taste of tourism, and I was hooked, and it has been all tourism, all the time, ever since. Over the years, I have witnessed how this community has embraced tourism and invested not only in our programs, but in the infrastructure which helps grow a strong and vibrant tourism industry. And I am so proud of where we are today, with many of you in this room that has helped everybody along the way in creating a great, healthy tourism industry. And with that note, it is wonderful to welcome you all to the 48th annual meeting of Visit Tri-Cities. For Visit Tri-Cities to be successful, we look for guidance from our board of directors, which is led by our chairman. And I'm so thankful. Well, number one, I'm thankful that he made it back from Hawaii. But I do thank him very much because Steve stepped forward. We had our chair, Rich Cummings, as you all know, moved in February. He was our board chair. And this was unexpected for Steve. He was prepared to come in as chair in 2018. But he stepped right in and really was quite the leader with our board of directors. And so with that, we want to thank him very much. And I'd like to thank him. He spent time going to Olympia for us, not only representing tourism issues as it relates to the Tri-Cities, but he really helped out in statewide issues. And so we're going to expect more of that in early 2018 as well, Steve. He was also willing to represent Visit Tri-Cities at community events, as well as working on community projects. So please join me with a round of applause in thanking Steve for serving as our 2017 chairman. The Faces of Tourism has many meanings, and first and foremost, it refers to the 5,900, actually it's closer to 6,000. This was last year's figures. But it's close to 6,000 employees that make up the tourism industry in the Tri-Cities region. And although tourism is very fast-paced and it's actually a fun-filled industry as well, there's also a lot of long hours serving the public outside that regular 8 to 5. And the Faces of Tourism also refer to the many facets of the industry: service, operations, sales, marketing, hospitality, and much more. And all of the talent and hard work pulling together to achieve one goal that's a common goal, and that is regional economic prosperity through increased visitor spending. And as I mentioned in the video, visitors spent $444 million in the Tri-Cities region. And when you consider that that $444 million went to small businesses throughout the Tri-Cities region, then you begin to realize the full impact that tourism has to the Tri-Cities region. And a strong tourism industry not only provides jobs, but it enhances that quality of life, because a lot of those funds are going into those attractive businesses that tourists love to go to, whether it's retail or restaurants or attractions. So it really has a great impact when you invest in the tourism industry. An attractive tourism portfolio also aids in business recruitment and employee retention for all the businesses, not just directly tied to tourism, and I believe that's something that we can all support. Local hotel revenues, which are a good measure for the overall health of the tourism industry, did quite well. They really grew rapidly over the last couple of years. And even with the recent double-digit increase in the number of hotel guest rooms, our hotel occupancies are up 8.1% over the previous year. And overall revenue is up 13.9% over the previous year. So that's really experienced a lot of growth. In fact, 2017, we had more visitation coming into the Tri-Cities region than any time in the history of the Tri-Cities region. So that makes for a lot of happy faces in the tourism industry. I'm now going to give you a brief overview of the programs of Visit Tri-Cities, because that's what I always do at annual meetings. But I promise I'll be very brief. You're all going to get a copy of our annual report just shortly after the first of the year. And that annual report will have all of our programs as well as the deliverables from throughout 2017. In terms of our marketing plan, it is very multifaceted approach to destination marketing. We use a variety of mediums to reach a large and diverse group of potential visitors. We use traditional media such as television and print advertising. This year, we have also focused more on digital advertising and social media to strategically place our messages. Television ads placed throughout the Northwest, which include Seattle, Portland, Boise, and Spokane, depict our wonderful quality of life. When I first started, we first started on Seattle as being that area that we wanted to advertise in. And since then, we've grown northwest. And I'd like to think over the next decade, we'll then be going national and then international. So stay tuned, folks. TV is such a great way of creating a much-needed visual impression for a destination while reaching a wide audience. We also use print ads in publications targeted and very targeted to meeting planners that book conventions, sports enthusiasts, leisure travelers, and wine lovers. We also pitch stories to writers almost on a daily basis and their editors with travel and lifestyle magazines. Now this year, we have added science tourism. I don't think anybody is doing science tourism, but we certainly are positioned to do that, particularly since we have the Manhattan Project National Historical Park, as well as LIGO that brought attention worldwide to the Tri-Cities region. Digital advertising has become a very important part of our marketing plan, and the benefit, as many of you know, of digital advertising is how accurately you can pinpoint your audience. And this is important because the Tri-City is so diversified in things to do, so when you narrow down your audience, you can more effectively influence the traveler's buying decision. Our website is one of the busiest portals for potential visitors wanting to learn more about the Tri-Cities region. And through the first 10 months of this year, we had nearly 185,000 people visit our website. And this is an increase of over 18% over the previous year. Closely associated with this is the success of our interactive kiosks for the Tri-Cities Airport and the Three Rivers Convention Center. And through October of this year, over 4,000 visitors have used the airport kiosk and have researched the various categories available. And we thank the Port of Pasco for this terrific opportunity to promote local businesses and attractions to visitors as soon as they step off the plane. So our thanks to you. And all of our advertising efforts highlight our community brand, which includes a vibrant lifestyle and our bigger, bolder, and brighter Tri-Cities messaging. We believe in face-to-face marketing, not only because I'm a baby boomer, but because I really do believe that's a part of that multi-medium contact and marketing that we do. And our staff participates in about a dozen trade shows and out-of-town sales events. And that trade show keeps us in instant visibility, helps build confidence with our customers and potential visitors, and allows us to deliver our message to thousands of potential visitors in a brief amount of time. Our marketing strategy is working. We project that this year our sales staff will generate 260 qualified leads, and that's conventions and sports groups, and those leads will go to our public venues as well as our hotels. This year alone, our office will book 58,000 guest rooms for future sports tournaments and conventions. And I'm very proud of the fact that our convention and sports department generate over $25 in visitor spending for every $1 that is spent on marketing. I'm also very fortunate to work with many, many wonderful volunteers, most of you in this room. And I also consider myself quite blessed to work with a very dynamic and dedicated team of professionals who promote, market, and sell the Tri-Cities on a daily basis. And I'm going to ask my team to stand one at a time. I'll recognize them and the role that they play. And audience, please hold your applause until they're all standing. And they're scattered throughout the room, I believe. First of all, we have under Operations and Administration, Kim Shugart, who is our Senior Vice President. Gretchen Guerrero is our Operations Manager. Under Membership Sales, with over 810 business members in our community, Michelle Chun, Director of Community Relations. Visitor Services, Summers Mia, and Summers is our Visitor Services Manager. Mary Spanner, who is our Information Specialist. Under Sports Sales and Marketing, we have Hector Cruz, Vice President. Dan Mulhausen, Sports Development Manager. Alicia Brown, Group Housing and Service Coordinator. Under Convention Marketing Sales, Laura Watkins, Director of Convention Sales. Maria Wally, Sales Manager. Kelly Merrick, Sales Administrative Assistant. Under Destination Marketing, Carissa Sayers, Marketing Manager. And Heather Willoughby, who is our Graphic Design Manager. We have the best tourism team on the planet, I believe, and I consider myself so fortunate to work with these hardworking and people, tourism professionals, and please join me in giving them a round of applause for a job well done. Most of you recognize my face as one of the faces of tourism that has been fortunate to lead the charge at Visit Tri-Cities. As I've mentioned, I've been doing it for many years, and I can truly say that it has been the most rewarding career that one could hope for. The tourism industry is known for its frequently changing faces. And I'm really proud of the fact that our staff has longevity throughout that process. And there is going to be one face changing with our organization. I have reached out to our board of directors, as well as a few of you in this room. And I wanted to let you know that this will be my last year as CEO of Visit Tri-Cities. I'll be retiring sometime in 2018 to spend more time with my husband, who is in the front row. I usually place him clear and back, but he is in the front row. I also have our wonderful daughter, Rainey Inga and Mark Inga, and my wonderful grandson. And these are the people I plan on spending a lot of time with in retirement. When I was preparing my remarks, my husband, who listens to my presentations, he has to listen through them, and he gives me his sage advice. He said to me, you know, Kris, you really should put people that have really made a difference, that have really helped you along the way, because he's gotten to know them quite well. And I've gone through quite a few board chairs and became lifetime friends with them all. Also, the staff that I've worked with, as well as just really good friends, every one of you in the room. And I thought, you know, Clark, I cannot put everybody's name down because I'm so fearful of missing somebody that really did great things for us. So I ended up not recognizing, but please know that I appreciate all of you and everything you've done. But there's one individual that has been with me for the last 24 years, and he has had to start with at the very beginning when we were very small. In fact, I remember Clark and I calling out of my address book to get people to come to our annual meeting. I think I had a total of 60 people. Fortunately, my friends have grown to be 600 now. But he wanted to make sure that we were successful. He helps recruit membership from time to time, and he has really done a great job in supporting me. And Clark, I couldn't do it without you, so I want the audience to join me in giving you a round of applause. It has been one heck of a tourism ride. And in closing, I would like to thank the cities of Kennewick, Pasco, Richland, and West Richland for your long-term investment with Visit Tri-Cities. The city council members have really become all my friends. The city managers most certainly, and I consider our organization to be an extension of our cities. And we thank them very much. And I especially want to thank the cities for allowing my face to speak to each city council 48 times. That's 48 times. And you may only have to see me one more time in first quarter, but my thanks to you for investing in tourism, because you really helped us become very, very successfully, not only in the Tri-Cities, but we're known throughout the Northwest as being successful, and it's thanks to the contribution from our cities. I'd also like to acknowledge our diamond investors that have helped to elevate tourism to an entirely new level. My sincere thanks to Washington River Protection Solutions, WRPS, for their overall investments in the program, as well as sponsoring this evening's annual meeting. So thank you very much. Also, Bechtel National. Oh, Bechtel National has been with us for 17 years, and they have been our corporate sponsor of River Shore Enhancement. And we move dirt, we reduce levees, we put trails in. We've just done a whole heck of a lot when it comes to River Shore Enhancement, and they're still our corporate sponsor, and I'm expecting even to have bigger and better and bolder things with River Shore Enhancement, so thank you, Bechtel. Battelle, for your sponsorship of heritage and ecotourism for the last 16 years. You know, that's what really gives a community a sense of place. And I'm so pleased that Bechtel stepped up with River Shore and Battelle with heritage and ecotourism and WRPS, because that's the kind of sponsorship we need with all organizations to help build the organization and help to create a positive community. Mission Support Alliance, we thank you for sponsoring our marketing and media outreach, and the Three Rivers Convention Center and Toyota Center for not only their sponsorship, but also for all of their hard work in helping us put on this event. So thank you, Barbara. I know Corey's out of town, so if you could relay my thanks on to him and the team, it's much appreciated. Great people, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my last annual report to the membership. I want to thank you very much for the privilege and honor serving as your CEO and president of Visit Tri-Cities. Thank you.
Thank you, Kris. There are very few leaders in our community that have the same degree of impact that you've had, not only on tourism, but on the entire community as well. During her 24-year tenure, we have witnessed many accomplishments due to her vision and determination. Those of you who know Kris know what I'm talking about when I say determination. Kris's skills as a leader, collaborator, and strategist have served us all well. The completion of the Sacagawea Heritage Trail, working to bring the Three Rivers Convention Center to reality, the introduction of legislation that paved the way for the Tourism Promotion Assessment, the construction of the Tri-Cities Business and Visitor Center, launching a community brand are just a few of the dozens of highlights of the last 24 years. She will certainly be one tough act to follow. Since we all have 600 of you gathered here this evening, we want to take advantage of the opportunity to allow you to sign your names to the backing of a framed John Clement photo, which is in the lobby, to give to Kris as a keepsake. Please take a moment to sign your name so that we can include you as we wish her well in her retirement. Kris, thank you does not begin to express our gratitude to you for the job you have done promoting and shaping the Tri-Cities. Please join me in a second round of applause for Kris.
Again, thank you very much. I did not want a retirement dinner. I wanted to be able to have you all here in one room, our membership that is the backbone of our organization. So again, I thank you for the roses. You all mean a lot to me. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm probably going to get more ornery and more involved in the community than I ever have been, so watch out, folks. But it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
I haven't forgotten you, Karen. Just so you know. The Visit Tri-Cities Excellence in Service Award was designed to recognize those that interface with visitors and go above and beyond to exceed their patrons' expectations. We greatly appreciate Battelle stepping forward to sponsor this award again. Battelle's Karen Blaisdell has chaired the Excellence of Service Award since its inception in 2012, contributing many hours of her time and creativity to build the program. Battelle generously sponsors the grand prize for this program. Karen, would you please join me and make your award?
Good afternoon. I'm honored to serve as the chair in the Excellent Service Award Committee again for 2017. But before I get started, I would like to acknowledge Kris Watkins for her years of excellent service she has provided to this community. She has given so much to ensure that our community is welcoming to visitors and to spur economic vitality and tourism. Thank you, Kris, for all you have done for this community, and congratulations on your retirement. Now, this year we had a fantastic turnout for the number of nominations that we received for the Excellence in Service Award. We received 27 nominations, and narrowing it down to one winner was not an easy task for the committee. All the nominees act as positive faces for tourism, and play an important role in creating an outstanding visitor experience. This year's Excellence in Service Award goes to a locally owned small business. What is unique about this year's recipient is that the nomination came from within the organization, not from a customer or a manager, but from a staff member. The staff member was so pleased or so proud of the organization that they nominated this business for the award. This business was established in 2012 and offers a unique service not offered by any other company locally. They offer a product that supports one of our more popular attractions, wine tourism. Their approach is simple. Empower their staff members so that they can provide memorable experiences for their customers and invest time and care in their equipment so that the guests have a safe, reliable, and fun experience. Their goal is everyone who visits us leaves with a smile. Talk about creating a positive face for tourism. If you have not had the opportunity to take a horse-drawn wagon ride to a winery or ride a horse or a bicycle through the vineyards that make up the heart of Washington wine country, I encourage you to do so. Those opportunities are available here locally thanks to the 2017 Excellence in Service Business Award winners, Red Mountain Trails. Teresa and Jeff Owen, owners of the Red Mountain Trails, would you please come on up here and receive your award and a $500 gift card. Come on up.
I'll wait for Jeff. We joined Visit Tri-Cities in 2013, and we came to the general meeting. And when we saw the Excellence in Service Award, I knew that that was the award our business needed to strive for, because that's what we do, is service, and we love it, and we're very passionate about it. And so this is a huge honor, and we're so, I don't know what the word is. It's not flattered, it's humbled and honored that our staff would nominate our business for that. They are really who puts the smiles on people's faces, and ours. And sometimes because we're laughing, sometimes because we're like, oh my goodness. But anyway, so thank you very much, you guys, and thank you for the award.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Again, congratulations to Red Mountain Trails, Teresa and Jeff.
Thank you, Karen, and congratulations, Red Mountain Trails. At this point, I'd like to extend my thanks to Washington River Protection Solutions for their valuable partnership and sponsorship of today's annual meeting, trade show, and reception. Given their support, it's only fitting that Rob Roxburgh, who represents WRPS on our board of directors, announces the winner of the Visit Tri-Cities Tourism Champion of the Year, Please join me in welcoming Rob.
And on behalf of WRPS, let me offer our voice of congratulations, Kris. You've certainly left a lasting legacy behind, and we are sure that you will continue to do many great things for our community. Good afternoon, everyone. The Tourism Champion of the Year is the most prestigious award that Visit Tri-Cities extends each year. The winner is always an individual or organization that has provided leadership in the tourism industry and helps support Visit Tri-Cities efforts. And the winner this year, of course, is no exception and goes to a very deserving individual. Today, of course, we've spent a lot of time talking about our theme, which is the faces of tourism. And that phrase refers to all those dedicated individuals who provide service or actively recruit visitors to the Tri-Cities, those whose efforts that, when combined, make the Tri-Cities a premier destination worthy of attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. Certainly not insignificant. But what about the other faces of tourism? These individuals represent the faces of the visitors, those individuals who select the Tri-Cities to host their sports tournaments, their conventions. Of course, they too are a vital component of our local tourism industry. This year's Tourism Champion was selected because he represents both of those faces of tourism. During his professional career, he was associated with some of the most phenomenal infrastructure projects that we enjoy today and that we still promote to Tri-Cities visitors. Projects that include the Sacagawea Heritage Trail, the Horn Rapids Sports Complex, Badger Mountain Park, and the John Dam Plaza and Community Stage. These projects were actually the result of funding by the City of Richland with support from the City Council and city staff, and we are certainly very thankful for that. But we also know that once approved, someone needs to shepherd these projects, and most times that means years of very hard work. This year's Tourism Champion worked for the City of Richland for 36 years and was involved in all of those projects to some extent. But wait, there's more. Outside of his day job, our Tourism Champion could be the poster child for bringing your meeting home, meaning that he has secured hundreds of sporting events for the Tri-Cities, each attracting about 150 athletes on average. He has secured conventions as well. Most recently, he was instrumental in locking down the Washington State Trails Conference, which took place in October 2016. And when the local organizing committee needed leadership, of course, he stepped forward, even when he knew he was planning to retire and the committee would need hours of fundraising and planning help. All of that while maintaining his status as a scratch bowler and cheering on his beloved University of Oregon Ducks, which is not easy. Did I hear boo? Which, of course, is not an easy thing here in the land of the Cougars and the Huskies. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating our 2017 Tourism Champion of the Year, Mr. Dave Bryant.
Well, thank you, Kris, and to all your staff for this great honor. Something I never really figured I'd ever walk away with, but I always said working at the City of Richland, I had the greatest job because I got to design the parks and watch people play in them. Yeah, being all my years in bowling and everything, actually I started in the tourism when I was about 11 years old because I got to keep score for the state bowling tournaments when the women and men would come to town. And then I actually was even a busboy for the Tapadera restaurant in Pendleton, Oregon at that time. So I just want to thank you for all your staff. This is fantastic, and I don't see how we'll ever find anybody as great as Kris to take your place. Thank you.
congratulations again to Dave. And I want to thank you all for coming here this afternoon. We're just about done with the tourism meeting. I did want to say one more time thank you to Kris. So that concludes our evening. Thank you all for being here.